Hello everyone, my name is Shannon O'Brien and I am the creator of this mini course. Thank you all for taking my course on Literacy in the 21st Century Foreign Language Classroom. I'm going to use this presentation to quickly go over what ACTFL and the 5 C's are and how they relate to literacy in foreign language. First, I'm going to explain what ACTFL is. You know how education just loves acronyms. ACTFL stands for the American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages. This organization created the national standards that foreign language teachers adhere to across the United States. By registering on their site, which I will share at the end of this presentation, you will receive access to resources and webinars that you can implement in your own classrooms. They also hold a convention in a different city every year. The 5 C's are the foreign language standards created by ACTFL in collaboration with 3 large foreign language teacher professional societies, specifically the German, French, and Spanish-Portuguese societies, that highlight 5 components to address in a foreign language classroom. The 5 C's first received funding in 1993 and were finalized in 1996. As you are about to see, these C's have held up fairly well in 20 years. So what are the 5 C's? They are communication, cultures, connections, comparisons, and communities. Each C has their own standards, which I will briefly discuss. In communication, the main goal is to communicate in languages other than English. Standard 1.1 has students engage in conversations, provide and obtain information, express feelings and emotions, and exchange opinions. Standard 1.2 has students understand and interpret written and spoken language on a variety of topics. Standard 1.3 has students present information, concepts, and ideas to an audience of listeners or readers on a variety of topics. In cultures, the main goal is to gain knowledge and understanding of other cultures. Standard 2.1 has students demonstrate an understanding of the relationship between the practices and perspectives of the culture studied. Standard 2.2 has students demonstrate an understanding of the relationship between the products and perspectives of the culture studied. In connections, the main goal is to connect with other disciplines and acquire information. Standard 3.1 has students reinforce and further their knowledge of other disciplines through the foreign language. Standard 3.2 has students acquire information and recognize the distinctive viewpoints that are only available through the foreign language and its cultures. In comparisons, the main goal is to develop insight into the nature of language and culture. Standard 4.1 has students demonstrate understanding of the nature of the language through comparisons of the language studied and their own. Standard 4.2 has students demonstrate understanding of the concept of culture through comparisons of the culture studied and their own. And finally, in communities, the main goal is to participate in multilingual communities at home and around the world. Standard 5.1 has students use the language both within and beyond the school setting. Standard 5.2 has students show evidence of becoming lifelong learners by using the language for personal enjoyment and enrichment. Whew! Okay, now that I got through those 5 C's, let's talk about what do they have to do with literacy in the foreign language classroom. Well, the short answer for everyone is everything. As you heard me describe each standard, you heard how the phrasing allows foreign language educators to incorporate reading, writing, listening, and speaking, but without dictating how they should go about doing it. Logistically speaking, the 5 C's are used to help guide curriculum and lesson planning to ensure that foreign language education is meeting the standards. Speaking of standards, foreign language education does not have Common Core standards. Since literacy is essential for skills in reading, writing, listening, and speaking in any language, us foreign language educators follow these standards. And this concludes my overview of ACTFL, the 5 C's, and literacy. If you are interested in learning more about the information I talked about, please use the links to direct yourself to the ACTFL homepage and the summary of the 5 C's. If you have specific questions for me, please feel free to send me an email in the address provided. Thank you for listening, and let's get started with the mini course.